Good evening, my precious people. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Compliments of the season. I'm so excited to be your host once again in the year of 2024. I believe it's going to be a great year. It's our year of plenty, and I believe that each and everyone watching me, you will access plenty this year. You will eat and be satisfied. I believe it's going to be a great year for you. And I believe that God is going to do greater things for his people this year. Welcome to Wednesdays with Pastor K 2024. I am excited about what 2024 has for you and I. And our last episode for the year 2023 was on the 6th of December. And I believe you are blessed by it. We did a quick recap on what we did for the entire year in 2023. And tonight, I want you to praise yourself for the new year. And I believe we're going to have some awesome topics. And I would like to ask you to please share in the comments the topics you would like us to discuss this year. And we will note that down. And if the Holy Spirit allows, we will dwell and embark onto those topics. But I'm excited. I'm excited about what this year has for you and I. Please do me a favor before we continue. Before I welcome everyone watching, I want you to quickly like the feed, share the feed, and participate throughout the feed. Comment, and let's get our world into this room. Tag somebody and share the feed so that people that follow you can also come in. I just want to quickly check who's watching before we get on with the business of the day. I see my beautiful wife is watching. Welcome, wifey. Good to see you. And we have Refilo Matsibulan watching. Welcome, Refilo. Good to see you. And KG watching. Khomoto KG is watching. Good evening, Khomoto. We have Debbie Chikani watching. Good evening, Debbie. And Jekuku Nupi watching. Good evening, Debbie. And let's see who else is watching. Good evening, Tabo. Good evening, Matapelo. Good evening, Paul. Tumelo. And good evening, Shasha Mukwena. And we have also Refile Cladi watching. Welcome, Refile. Good to see you guys. I'm so excited. And I believe you are all geared up for what the Lord has for us and for what this year has for us, the year 2024. And today we've got a very interesting topic on this first session of 2024. I want to talk to you for the next few minutes on stretching beyond our comfort zone. Stretching beyond comfort zone. Stretching beyond comfort zone. And if you have not yet shared the feed, quickly share it. And welcome to all those that are watching on YouTube. I see Bafana Nkosi is watching on YouTube. Welcome, Bafana. Good to see you. I think it's Bafana watching us from YouTube, and who else is watching on YouTube? We have Mpoma Libani watching on YouTube as well. And that's Mpoma Bafana and Bafana Nkosi watching us on YouTube. Welcome, guys. Good to have you on the platform. And we have Aubrey Mapeka watching on Facebook. Welcome, my dear sir. Good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've spoken to you and since we've had a chat. But it's good to see you. Welcome. One of the sons, Archbishop Zondo from Rivers of Living Waters in Everton. One of the great guys, a go-getter, somebody who's, gearing up for greater things in life. And we welcome you, sir. So, today I want us to talk about stretching beyond comfort zone. Number one, let's start with the question, what is a comfort zone? What is a comfort zone? Now, your comfort zone is where you feel safe and in control. Any area of your life where you feel safe and you are in control, you must know that's your comfort zone. When are we in our comfort zone, or when we are in our comfort zone, we know what to expect and we know how to react. Now, if you know all the corners, just like your home, let's say for those of you who are still staying with your parents, you know that home corner to corner, and you know where everything stays, and you're comfortable staying there. That's your comfort zone. And also all of our immediate needs are filled and we feel at peace. So all of our immediate needs are filled and we feel at peace. Now, comfort zone is where you feel secured. It's your area of stability. You know that, okay, here when I do 1, 2, 3, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, if you get what I mean. But your comfort zone is where you feel safe and you feel that you are in control. It is when you are staying in your mom and dad's house and they pay for everything and your own income is yours fully. Your own income belongs to you fully. Now, when you are living in a comfort zone, you are at a stage where you feel, okay, mom and dad are paying the bills and my money is my money. Then you go and buy a car and then you spend a lot of money on clothes because you know that things are taken care of. You are in your comfort zone. But there are people who stretch themselves out of the comfort zone and say, you know what, I can't live in mommy and daddy's house forever. I have to move out and go get my own crib. So I'm going to work hard and I'm going to take a risk with the little that I have. Let's say you are earning a little at that time, but you can still afford to rent a house. You can still afford to buy a car or to drive that car that you have bought already. Now, you're slowly shifting out of your comfort zone, but you find that there are people who are 40 years today, there are 50 years, some are 55, and they're still claiming to be the last born. You must know that person is in a comfort zone, and that comfort zone is killing that particular person. So coming out of the comfort zone helps you and I to grow. When we aim to live outside of the comfort zone, you and I begin to shift outside of the norm and we go into the area which is uncertain. We get into the area where not everything is going as we used to, but we have to get used to the new dimension because every time you access new levels, you must be shaken. And stretching yourself outside of the comfort zone takes you to that level where you will be stretched and you will be shaken. And that's how we grow, unfortunately. God did not create us to be in comfort zones, but God created us to access dimensions that will stretch you and I, that will take you and I to greater levels, to deeper levels. And today I want us to discuss this topic, and I want you to interact in the comments and let us discuss this thing of, shifting from the comfort zone and stretching yourself to access higher levels, to access higher dimensions, to access higher avenues. But coming out of a comfort zone is pushing yourself to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Pushing yourself to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable and stretch beyond your perceived limits. And listen to me, going out of your comfort zone is never easy. It will never be easy to tap into a new space. Number one, when you move out of your parents' house and you start buying your own house, you're going to live in your own house. Number one, you're going to have to start cooking. You have to start buying own groceries. You have to start paying rent. You have to start taking care of that electricity. You have to start doing a lot of things now. You have to get somebody to come and clean your home. And by so doing, you're shifting into a different dimension. You're shifting into a different level, a level you are not used to. I see Pastor Rose Bupape is watching. Welcome, woman of God. Good to see you. Welcome to today's episode. We are so excited to have you on our very first episode for the year 2024. Welcome, woman of God. So, stretching out of our comfort zone is facing our fears and challenges head on. There are many people who fear, to try something new in their lives. But life is all about trying something new. We've got to try new things in our lives. We've got to try greater things. We've got to try newer things. And we have to take a step of faith and to take a leap of faith. We must always try something new because we are created to access greater dimensions. We are created to enter into higher levels, right? So By stretching yourself beyond, you challenge yourself to grow. And that's what I like about coming out of the comfort zone. When you come out of the comfort zone and you're stretching yourself, what you are doing, you are stretching yourself to grow. You begin to grow in levels you never knew you could grow in. And one thing about a comfort zone is that it keeps you limited. It keeps you in one place. It keeps you stagnant. And that's the problem. But the moment you shift yourself and you come out of the comfort zone, you begin to learn new things. You begin to discover new things about yourself. You begin to discover greater things about yourself. And that is what I like about coming out of the comfort zone. So, what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you, growth occurs when you challenge yourself. Growth occurs when you challenge yourself. You've got to challenge yourself if you want to grow in life. If you want to do greater things, you've got to challenge yourself. If you want to access greater relationships, you've got to challenge yourself. If you want to access greater levels of finances, you've got to challenge yourself. If you're too comfortable, you will never access greater levels. If you're too comfortable, you'll never move out of your house in the township. If you're too comfortable, you will never apply for a promotion, for a position that seems like it's too big for your shoes because you're too comfortable. But the moment you stretch yourself, you say, you know what? I think I can become a director in this company. What do? You start equipping yourself for that position of a director, and you start applying for that particular position. Do you get what I'm saying? That's great. So, awesome. Thank you, Pastor, for tuning in. And Aubrey says there is no growth in comfort zone. Absolutely, there is no growth. And Debbie says that's true. Comfort zone keeps one stagnant. Yep. That's what it does. In 2024, says Pastor Bupape, in 2024, I have to challenge myself. Absolutely. You have to stretch yourself, woman of God. You have to expose yourself to fresh material so that you can feed God's people with new material, fresh material, anointed materials, and spend a lot of time in the secret place. We've got to always stretch ourselves because comfort zone makes you stagnant, and you don't want to be stagnant. You've got to shift to greater dimensions. And like I said, growth occurs when you challenge yourself. Growth occurs when you learn new skills. When you learn new skills, growth begins to take place. And growth begins to happen when you embrace unfamiliar situations. You've got to embrace unfamiliar situation. Like I said, now you're moving out of your parents' house. You're gonna start now pursuing having your own home. Now you're gonna expose yourself to unfamiliar situations like getting bills every single month, having to pay for petrol, all those things. Now you're becoming a responsible person. You have shifted out of comfort and you are entering into uncomfortable situations or uncomfortable spaces, and by so doing you are shifting yourself into the place of thinking and an atmosphere of exerting and applying your thoughts or your thought paradigm, if I may put it that way. So we've got to always be eager to shift ourselves into newer dimensions. Things that are beyond your comfort zone are things that challenge you. There are things that challenge you. Things that are beyond your comfort zone will excite you and give you a little bit of fear, but you believe are worth exploring and acting on. Now, if it's outside of your comfort zone, you will feel a little bit of fear that, hey, if I leave my mom and dad's house, what's going to happen if I get fired? If I leave my mom and dad's house, how am I going to eat every night? If I leave my mom and dad's house, who's going to wake me up? We've got these lame excuses of remaining in one place. But shifting out of the comfort zone causes you to grow, causes you to explore, causes you to act upon your fears. That's what moving out of the comfort zone will make you do. And for some of us, in this year 2024, we've got resolutions that, you know what, I want to move out of my mother and my father's house. I want to get myself a new car. I want to buy myself a home. I want to apply for a greater position. I want to start a fresh business. I want to get involved in a certain organization. I want to start serving in my church. You've got all these great ideas for 2024, and that has to do with stretching yourself. You've got to stretch yourself and move out of comfort and step into a territory that you're not used to. Now, people live in their basic qualities, like their intelligence or talent, and many people believe in their basic qualities, which is their intelligence and their talent, and these are simply what we call fixed traits. These are fixed traits. But what they are missing out is that basic abilities can be developed. That's the thing. There are people, they look at something and they say, you know what, I won't be able to do this. I'm sorry, I won't be able to do this. And it's because you have boxed yourself in your area of comfort. But the moment you stretch yourself, you say, you know what, I've never done this before, but let me try. I've never become part of the worship team in the church, but let me try. I've never served closely to the men of God, but let me try. I've never tried this at work, but let me try. You're shifting yourself and you're allowing yourself for yourself to be developed. You're exposing yourself to the space of development by stretching yourself and shifting to a place of growth, and you're coming out of your comfort zone. Now, that's what people need to learn. So by understanding that basic abilities can be developed, they can be through dedication and hard work. Through dedication and hard work. Understand this. Brains and talent are just the starting point. Brains and talent are just a starting point. So many of us, we tend to measure ourselves based on what we have done and are successful in, and we are afraid to start what we have not tried. But understand this, brains and talents are just your starting point. Never limit your brain, never limit your talent. You can always do what you never thought you could do. I'm telling you, you can always do what you never thought you could do. I just want to read some of the comments here. For anyone who's just tuned in now, please share the feed and also interact with me in the comments. And remember to share with us the topics that you would like for us to discuss throughout the year. And we will note them down and we will come back and honor you with those topics. Yeah. Tabo says, people who have lived outside of comfort since an early age tend to be hardworking and determined in all they do. They are courageous, absolutely. And Refilwe Tladi says, comfortable growth is dangerous and it prevents you from accessing the greater you. Absolutely, absolutely. So let me give you the benefits of stretching yourself beyond your comfort zone. The benefits of stretching yourself beyond your comfort zone. Number one, if you do that, you will experience growth. You will experience growth. If you stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone, you will experience growth. If where you are, you feel stagnant, you feel like you're in one place, you feel like you're not making progress in life, you feel like, you know what, there is nothing inspiring in your life, you feel like, every morning when you wake up, there is no motivation, you know why that is happening. You're in the comfort zone. You're in the comfort zone. But the moment you get out of the comfort zone, the moment you stretch yourself, you say, you know what, I can be the personal assistant to the biggest boss at work. I can be an executive assistant to the CEO at work. Let me apply for that position. What are you doing? You're stretching yourself. You're stretching yourself. I can serve the greatest man of God. What are you doing? I am stretching myself. I am stretching myself. I can become friends with this brother I've been wanting to know closely. You're stretching yourself. Go into unfamiliar zones. Go into unfamiliar zones and unfamiliar spaces so that you will be able to grow. And once you do that, I'm telling you, you will discover that you can do what you thought you could never do. Yeah. Aubrey says, and that we had to stretch ourselves with my partner. We had to start business outside of the Val, right in Sasolburg, Free State. The reception has been amazing. It's a blessing to surround ourselves with go-getters, people that make things happen. I love that. I love that, Aubrey. I love that. Congratulations, man. And keep on soaring higher. Keep on soaring higher. One of the ways to access areas that are untapped is to dare to dream. You must dare to dream. You must dare to dream, and make sure that you put the limits of your life. Put the limits off and kick the limits off. Kick the limits off and strive for the greatest, strive for the biggest. You must always aim for bigger things. You must always aim for bigger things. And that's what we are created for. God says, be fruitful and multiply, subdue the earth, dominate the earth. And many of us, our dreams die because we are afraid to explore. We are afraid to come out of the comfort zone and start things. Many people are just employed, but you've got great business ideas, but you are afraid of tapping into the unknown, because stretching yourself is tapping into the unknown. And the moment you tap into the unknown, you expose yourself to greater avenues, greater things you could not have done in your own strength. And that is why you have to access greater dimensions by coming out of your comfort zone. So number one, you will experience growth when you stretch yourself outside of the comfort zone. Number two, going into the outside of the comfort zone opens you up to more opportunities. It opens you up to more opportunities. Like, for instance, now Aubrey has just said now what they did, his testimony. He said now they started another business and they ventured into Free State. I know he started a business in the Val called Valma Planking, and look at what he's doing now. So the moment you open yourself to challenges that come with coming out of the comfort zone, you open yourself up to more opportunities. You open yourself up to more opportunities. Never be afraid to start something new, because once you start something new, within that thing that you've started, you discover something else that takes you to the next level also. So you must never be afraid of venturing into something new, because that's where your treasure is hidden. Great treasures are hidden where people are afraid to step into. Montepelo says, taking a risk qualifies in shifting from your comfort zone because we are fearing the unknown. Excuse me. And oh my God. And Patricheza says, fear grows when we do nothing, and fear fades away when you take the step of faith. I fully agree with you, absolutely. And Impo says, nothing great has ever come out of being comfortable. And I remember when you once said, if the dream doesn't scare you, then it is not big enough. Yeah. And let's amplify it a little higher. If a dream does not scare you, it's not from God. If it does not scare you, it's not from God. And if you're at a level where you feel you've got everything to do it, you've got the resources to do it, then it's not from God. God wants always to take you into places where you will require faith. That's God. If it's of God, it will need your faith, meaning that you cannot do it in your own strength. When you look at it, it is impossible. But there's something in you that says you can do it, and you push either way. You push no matter the circumstances. You will require faith to do that. Number three, your self-confidence grows. Your self-confidence grows when you stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone. Your self-confidence will grow. Why? Because you've tried something new and you realize you can do it. Then what happens? Your confidence grows. Number four, you will be inspired to take on new challenges. You will be inspired to take on new challenges when you stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone. You will be inspired to take on new challenges. That's what coming out of the comfort zone does. It's like fuel. It's like petrol. It fills you. It fills you, and you feel that energy that I can do more. Why? Because you have exposed yourself to more. You have exposed yourself to greater levels. You have exposed yourself to higher dimensions, and you've got to always shift your mindset to think at a level higher than where you are. Welcome, Katleho. Katleho's watching on YouTube. Welcome. Good to see you. And yeah. Oh, I thought you were commenting there. You just noting your points there. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, it's a suggested topics. We will note that, Katleho. Thank you so much. Katleho wants to learn more about developing a leadership mindset. That's good. I love that. And she wants to also learn about building one brick at a time. That's awesome. And the last one is soaring in the marketplace. Soaring in the marketplace. I like that. I like that. Number 5, of the benefits of stretching yourself outside of your comfort zone is you begin to step beyond, let me put it this way. Stepping beyond your comfort zone opens doors to new possibilities. It opens doors to new possibilities. Now, many times when we start businesses, we hardly ever think about becoming a boss. The first thing that we think of making money. We think of, will this thing sustain me? But once you've started that business, now it's begin to operate. It has begun now to operate. It starts generating income. Then now you realize that you need staff to help you. Then you employ staff. All of a sudden, now there's a possibility that is open for you, that now you are becoming a boss. It's things that you never thought of. You thought of making money, but because you've opened yourself up to that space, now that space is telling you that now this thing is getting bigger. You cannot afford to do it by yourself, or you cannot be able to manage by yourself. Therefore, you need to employ somebody who can work with you and build this thing with you. So what has going into a new space did for you? It has opened you, it has opened you to greater possibilities. It has opened you to new possibilities. So that's what it does. It opens doors to new possibilities. Let's talk about the disadvantages of a comfort zone. For those of us who are in a comfort zone, and I've made you a great example of a comfort zone like that. For some of us, you've got people who are still staying in their mother's homes, their father's homes, and today they are 40, today they are 50, some are 45, some are 48, and they're still calling themselves last born. You are in a comfort zone. You are in a comfort zone. But let's talk about the disadvantages of comfort zone. Number 1, comfort zone limits your personal growth and development. What does that mean? It means that you are closed off to personal growth. The moment you live in comfort zone, you have closed yourself off to growth. You will never grow because you are living in a comfort zone. And comfort zone is knowing that, okay, if I wake up at 11, my mom is used to me waking up late, so it's not going to be a problem. That's a comfort zone. But the moment you expose yourself to a place where you're surrounded by leaders, you're surrounded by people who are go-getters, you know that you can't wake up at 11. These people are already up at 6. These people are already up at 7, and they are already working. So by the time you wake up at 11, they've already achieved greater things. Therefore, you know, you must come out of your comfort zone. So a comfort zone, the disadvantages is that it limits you. It limits you, and you are closed off to personal growth. Number 2 of the disadvantages of a comfort zone is that you will never achieve greater things in life. That's a challenge with a comfort zone. You will never achieve greater things in life if you are in a comfort zone. A comfort zone drains you instead. A comfort zone eats from you instead. A comfort zone keeps you in one level instead. But stretching yourself outside of the comfort zone, it opens you up to newer possibilities. It opens you up to greater possibilities. So always open yourself up to greater opportunities, to greater possibilities. And I'm telling you, you will thank yourself later. There is always a reward when you stretch yourself outside of the comfort zone. A comfort zone will limit you. A comfort zone will suffocate you. A comfort zone will cause you to become stagnant. And you don't want to be there for a very long time. It's high time you stretch yourself and move from a comfort zone. Bafana Nkosi says, I am learning, I'm taking notes, man of God. I need this to rise to my full potential. Thank you, sir. And Patucheza says, or Patucheza is replying to Matapelo Mapanga, he's saying fire. So, number two, or I've just mentioned number two, that you will never achieve greater things, meaning that you will never even start your own business if you are in a comfort zone. Those are the disadvantages of being in a comfort zone. You will never start your own business. You will never quit your job. You will never try something new. You will never leave your parents' house. You will never buy a bigger car that you're trusting God for. You will never buy a bigger house that challenges your pocket, that challenges your level. You will never do those things. Why? Because you are too comfortable where you are and you are afraid of tapping into the realm of the unknown. One thing I've learned about going into dimensions we think we never qualify for, I've learned that once you are there, you are forced to live there. You are forced to live there. Let me give you a perfect example. Let's say you jump into a pool, or let's put it this way. Let's say you cannot swim. You cannot swim, but where you are standing now, when you look on your right, you see a lion coming towards you, and it's running towards you. And the best way, or the best place you can run to is the pool. What are you gonna do? You're gonna jump into a pool, and you can't swim. But guess what? Because a lion is chasing you, you're gonna find yourself swimming. You're gonna find yourself swimming. Why? Because something pushed you into it. It pushed you into it. Sometimes we need to push ourselves into things. We need to push ourselves into dimensions we've never accessed before. Otherwise, we'll never try anything new. We'll never try anything new. You've got to expose yourself to deeper dimensions, bigger levels. And once you are there, you'll be forced to swim. You will be forced to swim. See, the great man, the lion, he will never jump into the pool. He cannot swim. He cannot swim. But go into the field, he'll show you who he is. So if it happens that way, you will be forced to swim. Number three of the disadvantages is that many life-changing opportunities lie outside of our comfort zone. Many life-changing opportunities, they lie outside of our comfort zone. And it means that if you are afraid of starting new things, you will never actually access greater things in life, because greater things, they lie outside of the comfort zone. So outside of your mother and your father's house, there are big homes out there. There are big houses out there. Outside of what you see in your comfort zone, there are greater opportunities out there. And you've got to expose yourself to those dimensions. You've got to expose yourselves to those kinds of dimensions. Number four, disadvantages of a comfort zone is that it keeps you in fear of trying something new. It keeps you in fear of trying something new. So you will never try something new, because comfort zone makes you fearful. You are fearful of trying something new. You are fearful of moving out of your parents' home. You are fearful of applying for a CEO position, a chief executive position. You are fearful of applying for a directorship position. You are too comfortable. You are too stuck in your comfort zone, if I may put it that way. Number five of the disadvantages Um, a comfort zone is a realm of excuses. I want you to type that in the comments. A comfort zone is a realm of excuses. Now, when you find many people making excuses all the time, then you must know they are in a realm of excuses. For example, why don't you start your own business? Because you've got a business idea. No, the thing is, I don't have capital. It's an excuse. Why don't you buy a new house? No, I'm afraid I will not be able to afford it. It's a realm of excuse. Why don't you shift onto the next level in terms of your studies? No, I don't think I can afford that, or I don't think I'm going to have time to study because my workload is too much. You are in a comfort zone. So it is a realm of excuses. It is a realm of excuses. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Maschaba. That's right. So Maschaba says a comfort zone is a realm of excuses. So she obeyed when I said, please type it in the comments. Oh, I see we have Tabo also and Refile. They are also following suit, and we have Kateho as well. So why do I want us to hammer this? Because it is the truth. It is the truth. A comfort zone is a realm of excuses. So people are making excuses. No, I can't quit my job. If I quit my job, what if the business does not work? You are in a realm of excuses. No, I can't start a new business because what if this business fails? You are in a realm. You are in a realm of excuses. So if you cannot advance or you don't allow yourself to advance, you will always make excuses. You will always make excuses. So you must come out of that comfort zone. Some of us, you may find that you've been with this person who's very abusive for a very long time, and you're afraid to leave this person because this person pays for certain bills, or this person takes care of certain bills in on your side, and you feel that if you lose this person, how are you going to pay for those bills? You are in a comfort zone. And as a result, this person is abusing you because they've seen that you love comfort. So they are taking advantage because you love comfort. But coming out of the comfort zone is saying, you know what? Not anymore. I'm going to find a way to live without this person. That's coming out of the comfort zone. You've got to push and leave out of the comfort zone. Patricenzo says, God has given us so much potential to make it in life, but fear of failure is what killed many of us. Most people are frustrated by where they are in life, but they are also afraid to take a step of faith for something that they know deep down it can change their life. Yeah, that's very true. And Pastor Rose says, sometimes we need this kind of truth, men of God, in order to get and venture into new things, new plans. Absolutely, we have to. We have to come out of our comfort zone. And Tumelo Mpo says, Lungile Madonsela, the author of The Great Pursuit, said, everything is possible for one who believes. Yeah. Is an invitation to think big. Yes, yeah. Absolutely. I wrote the synopsis of that book, Tumelo. I wrote the synopsis of that book. You can check it out there. Yeah, that's a very great book. That's a very great book, and it will bless you. So it is an invitation to think big, expect big, and work to achieve big. Why think small? Expect small and work to achieve small if everything is possible when you believe. Since everything is possible when you believe, you might as well believe big and great because it's possible. Absolutely. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So, yeah, we are almost out of time because I started late, but we will continue next week on the same topic. But I just want to finish these nuggets on the disadvantages of a comfort zone. Let's tackle the last one. on the disadvantages of a comfort zone is that sticking to what you really know prevents you from experiencing what is new. Sticking to what you really know or sticking to what you already know prevents you from experiencing that which is new. It prevents you from experiencing new perspectives. It prevents you from experiencing new ideas. It prevents you from experiencing new adventures. Many of us, we keep ourselves in one place because we are afraid to explore. We are afraid to try something new. Look, I I worked for British American Tobacco as a sales representative. I worked for a number of companies before that. And the last company I worked for was British American Tobacco. And my background was sales. I studied marketing. And I've always felt when I felt like, you know what, I can do something big every time I was at work, Mind you, I had all the perks, where life was good. I was already owning several properties, driving a company car, having a car of my own as well, and having company petrol card, and all those things. But I've always had this thing in me that I'm created for bigger things. I've always wanted to go start my own business. And guess what? Boom. I resigned. I handed over my business, my resignation, and my boss could not believe it. My boss said, "You know what? You are a billionaire, sir. You've got a billionaire mindset." He says, "I can't believe that you're quitting your job to start something from scratch." And I did that. I mean, years later, look, I stopped working for somebody. It was in the year 2009. 2009. Today we are in 2024. I have not knocked on anybody's door ever since. I've been fending for myself all these years. There are moments where things got tougher, where I felt like going back to go work again. But guess what? When God has written that kind of life off for you, He will not allow those doors to open again. I've tried everything, but I could not go back to work. I had to, there's a saying that says, if you can't find your way out, find your way further in. And look at me today, God has been super gracious, went from business into coaching, motivational speaking, and migrated from that into preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. And today, God has taken care of me and my family, and we are blessed. Why? Because I came out of the comfort zone. Now, imagine if I still remained working for somebody else, if I still remained at British American Tobacco, probably maybe I would be holding a higher position at that by now. But I still believe I still won't have what I have today, or the things I have today, because when you work for yourself, you write your own check. But when you work for somebody else, they give you what they can afford to give you. So that's the thing about being afraid of coming out of the comfort zone. In closing, I just want to read Matapelo's comment. Matapelo says, "Dad, I have been comfortable in my own space, especially in my workplace, working for 17 years. Sure, 17 years. My God. My God. The highest company I've ever, the highest or the biggest number of years I've worked for was 5 years. I worked for British American Tobacco for 5 years, and I resigned. So you've been working for 17 years. It's only last year late I decided to enroll and learn more about what I'm passionate about. My bosses always see potential, but I was too comfortable in one place. Thank you. I really needed this wisdom. You are a true man of God." Thank you so much, Matapelo. I'm glad that you have enrolled, and big ups. And may you push harder this year. I believe that God is going to lift you up. And Mpo says, "The comfort zone is what strangles your faith and hinders you from entering into the dimension God has called you to." Absolutely. I fully agree with you, Mpo. I fully agree with you. So, yeah, That's where we are. Thank you so much, family, for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in for the first episode of the year. Episode It's episode number 124 of Wednesdays with Pastor K. And I thank you so much. If you have not yet shared the feed, may I kindly ask you to please share it and have the people that follow you to please tune in and feed from today's episode as well. And remember to share it and remember to tag a friend. And we are continuing where we left off last week. I want you to please invest in the copy of my book, The Call of God. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. It only goes for 200 rand. If you have not yet purchased this book, I want you to quickly invest in this resource. It will bless you. It will take you to greater levels. Part of this book is me sharing my story of where I come from, how the call of God surfaced in my life. So it will bless you and it will take you to greater dimensions. God bless you. So from myself and Wednesdays with Pastor K, we are looking forward to greater things this year. Stay tuned in and don't miss any episode. It's going to be great. It's going to be powerful. From me to you, see you next week. God bless you.